Are you ready to unlock your running potential and break through those frustrating plateaus? Imagine running faster without burning out, or going the distance without getting tired or injured. This video holds the key to revolutionizing your running game. Do this, and your running will never be the same. One of the most important things for runners is focusing on heart rate. We all have different fitness levels, and it's important to find your personal target heart rate zone and stay within it. When your heart rate is too high, it not only makes running more difficult, but it can lead to injuries and burnout. By focusing on your breath, start slowly, and over time, building your mileage, you'll be able to run more without getting so tired. It's important to keep track of your heart rate during your runs and adjust your pace to stay within your target zone. When your heart rate is too high, not only does it make running more difficult, but it can also lead to injuries and burnout. By focusing on your breath, starting out slowly, and over time building up your mileage, you'll be able to run more without getting so tired. It's important to keep track of your heart rate during your runs and adjust your pace and stay within your target zone. And if that means walking, by all means do it. There are several different types of heart rate training that runners can do, such as lactate threshold training. This is the type of training that involves running at or near your lactate threshold, which is the point in which your body starts to produce more lactate acid than it can remove. By training at this intensity, you can improve your body's ability to clear lactic acid and increase your endurance. Zone-based training. This is the type of training that involves dividing your heart rate into different zones, such as easy, moderate, hard, and then training at different intensities within each zone. This can help you develop the different aspects of your fitness, such as endurance, speed, and power. Interval training. This is the type of training that involves alternating periods of high intensity exercise with periods of low intensity recovery. Interval training can help improve your speed and power as well as your endurance. Today we're going to talk about zone-based training, and it's very popular. It can be very useful when coming back from a running injury, or when starting back from running from a long period of inactivity, or building a strong aerobic base to be able to run longer and to lose weight. Look, after a year of incorporating heart rate training into my running routine, the results were astounding. I'll share those previous results with you later on in the video. Stay tuned to see the impact on what this method had on my running. Now, we as runners, we have a number of options when it comes to heart rate training. The Maffetone Method, known as the 180 formula, is a type of heart rate training method developed by Dr. Phil Maffetone. And the method is based on the idea that the body can handle a certain amount of stress at a time, and that by training at a lower intensity, you can reduce the overall stress on your body and improve your fitness. It also allows you to run at a low heart rate and get faster over time without overtraining. To calculate your maximum aerobic heart rate, using the Maffetone method, you first subtract your age from 180. Then you make adjustments based on other factors such as your overall health and any injuries or medical conditions, and your exercise history. For example, if you're 40 years old, your maximum aerobic heart rate would be 140 beats per minute, 180 minus 40. However, if you have a history of injury or other health issues, you might subtract an additional 5 beats per minute. You might have to minus an additional 5 beats if you are coming back from an injury or have gained weight. If you've been running for 2 years without any injuries and have been improving during that time, you can add an additional 5 beats. Also, if you are on medication, it is advised to reduce it by 10 beats. For older runners 60 and above, it's recommended to add 10 beats, but you're going to have to play around with this a little bit because everybody is going to be different, and it's kind of like a trial and error. Once you've determined your maximum aerobic heart rate, the Maffetone method suggests using training at or below your heart rate for most of your workouts. This means that your runs should be at a steady, comfortable pace rather than pushing yourself to go faster. This method is not for everybody, and since everybody is different in how their bodies react to running, there are lots of experimenting with this method. Temperature plays a big role in trying to keep your heart rate low. And when you're living in climates where it fluctuates, like some mornings it's really cold, some mornings it's really hot, it can be frustrating trying to keep your heart rate in the zone that you're looking to keep it in, whether it's MAF or zone 2, it's still hard. To make sure you're making progress, there is a running test that can be performed on the same route you run on or a track. That's called a MAF test, and it is done each month to see if you're improving. This is so discouraging. You know, it's hard to come back and feel like you're starting from the beginning, even though you're not. You've got like a lot of base under you. But man, it's just so hard. Oh, crap. The Maffetone method is a popular method for runners looking to improve their endurance and overall fitness. However, it is important to note that this method may not work for everyone. because it is very important to set your training zones correctly. There are runners out there that generally have a high heart rate, and the standard calculators really don't work very well for them. Over the past number of months, I've been using the Maffetone Method, which uses my maximum heart rate and my resting heart rate to dial in your heart rate zone. The Maffetone Method is a well-known and widely used method for determining an individual's target heart rate during exercise. This method takes into account the person's maximum heart rate and resting heart rate to provide more of an accurate target heart rate zone. The Maffetone Method is considered to be more accurate than other methods because it takes into account the individual's resting heart rate. This is important because resting heart rate can vary greatly from person to person, and this variant can affect the target heart rate. By using the Maffetone Method, individuals can exercise at a more appropriate intensity level for their fitness level and can make adjustments as their fitness improves over time. It is also used to help people with specific health condition or reach specific goals. It's important to note it's always recommended to consult with a doctor or a qualified fitness professional before starting any of these things that I talk about. Now, for example, a person's maximum heart rate is 200 beats per minute. Resting heart rate is 60 beats per minute, and the intensity is 70% of the target heart rate. So this is what it would look like if you were doing the math. I'm not too sure if Garmin Connect can actually set these up like this, but I do know that the Kuros Training Hub, you can actually put that information in to set up all your zones. By incorporating this easy to follow training method into your running routine, you'll be able to run at a faster pace for longer distances without the risk of injury, all while maintaining a steady heart rate. You'll feel energized, ready to run even more after your workout is finished. That's how you should feel. It's a nice feeling to be able to complete a run and feel great at the end of it. Despite being a runner for years, I had never given much thought to monitoring my heart rate. However, since incorporating heart rate training into my routine, I have seen a significant improvement in my running. I am now able to run for longer periods at a steady pace without feeling fatigued. I have also noticed an increase in my speed and overall progress. While it's not always easy, consistency is the key, and with time you will see improvements. Look, it's just like any other activity. Consistency is the key when it comes to running. Going for a run occasionally is fine, but if you want to see significant progress, it's important to make running a consistent part of your routine. Stay consistent at something long enough, good things are going to happen. I don't care how fast, how slow you run. Consistency is the key. Consistency over time will ultimately lead to success. As my father always said, when you have momentum, you must maintain it. Otherwise, it can be very fleeting. What did I achieve in this past year? And let's be very, very specific about this, okay? Because I think it's really, really important. So the first thing that I was able to do, in 1 year, I was able to lose about 35 to 40 pounds. And that's all by running at my Maffetone heart. Fantastic when you think about it, right? The next thing is I am now 3 minutes faster per kilometer than I was when I started a year. I mean, it's just mind-blowing when you really think about that, right? I started at 8:34 and now I'm down to 5:34. Don't let poor aerobic fitness hold you back any longer. Incorporate heart rate training into your running routine and watch your performance soar. Heart rate training is an awesome way to monitor the intensity of your workout, ensuring that you are training at the right zone to achieve your goals. If, however, you want to try the Maffetone Method and get the complete guide to set your expectations, then watch this video next and see your improvement and your endurance and speed overall and fitness increase. Like I always say, get out and run.